Today, we're going to take a look at a pretty unique nonprofit ministry called Atlas of Sioux Center. It's a really powerful story, about what can happen when a community decides to help its most vulnerable members in a completely different way. And it all started with one person noticing a simple but really profound problem. So, let's just start with this question. Think about it for a second. When someone is truly hurting, dealing with one of life's biggest challenges, where do they actually go for help? The answer, it turns out, isn't always what you'd expect. And that's the very reason Atlas was even created. You see, it was this exact question that led to a huge realization way back in the year 2000. It became crystal clear that there was a major gap in how the community was caring for its people. And that realization, it set the stage for a totally new approach. So here's the core of it. The observation came from Atlas founder Jerry Keefe. He noticed that the folks in his community who were struggling the most, the ones who arguably needed support more than anyone, they just weren't turning to the church for help. There was this clear disconnect, some kind of barrier keeping them away from a traditional source of comfort and aid. So, how do you bridge a gap like that? Well, it required a completely new way of thinking. It meant coming up with a philosophy that basically flipped the conventional model on its head. And this, right here, just brilliantly sums up the solution. This quote became the founding principle, the DNA of Atlas. Instead of asking people to adopt a certain belief system before they could get help, the idea was to create a safe space where they could simply belong first. The crucial point is that acceptance and community came before everything else. And that's how the Ministry of Atlas was born. The name itself is actually an acronym, and it perfectly captures its goals: attaining truth, love, and self-control. It's a mission that's baked right into the name. Their official mission statement makes this purpose even clearer. Together, touching lives for Christ. The key word there is together. It really emphasizes community, unity, and this idea that helping others is a shared responsibility. Okay, so that's the philosophy behind it, and it's a powerful one. But how does that actually translate into real, tangible help on the ground? Let's take a look at how the Atlas model actually works in practice. The support they offer isn't abstract. It's incredibly practical. They focus on core human needs, offering things like one-on-one mentoring for that vital personal connection, and they provide help with fundamental things like transportation and housing. And this is so crucial to their model. It circles right back to that whole belonging before believing idea. Now, Atlas is a Christian organization, but having a relationship with God is explicitly not a requirement to get help. The doors are open to everyone, period, no matter what they believe. If you look at their history, you can see how this idea grew into a really stable organization. It was founded in the summer of 2000, and then, just 5 years later, they made a genius move by purchasing a second-hand store. This wasn't just some side project, it was the key to their long-term survival. What a brilliant strategy for financial independence, right? This store, the Second Chance Depot, actually generates the revenue needed to fund the ministry's operations. It's a self-sustaining model, which means they can keep helping people for the long haul. And because the model was so effective, it was able to grow. The goal was always to reach those who are hurting, and that meant expanding that circle of support beyond just their initial community. So they expanded by opening a satellite office in the nearby community of Rock Valley. And what's really important here is the consistency. They offer the same core services in both locations: active mentoring, a presence in public schools, and, this is huge, vital bilingual support. And here's another key way they put that philosophy into practice. To truly serve their entire community, they made sure to have bilingual staff mentors available for meetings in Spanish. It's just a perfect example of proactively removing barriers that might stop someone from getting help. So, what started as just one person's observation about a gap in the community has become so much more. This is a story about the lasting impact of a really powerful, inclusive, and practical idea. And that impact isn't just local. Atlas of Sioux Center is actually part of a much larger network. This model of community care has been so effective that it's been replicated in other places, which just goes to show how universal the need is for this kind of support. And that kind of brings us to our final thought. The Atlas story isn't just about one organization. It really prompts a bigger question for all of us to think about. What does it truly mean for a community to help its own? Atlas provides one pretty powerful and inspiring answer.